Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're inside of Affinity Designer and I want to talk about the duplication and rotation features and how it could speed up your workflow as well as give you some pretty cool effects. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to draw out something pretty quick and simple just to demonstrate how this duplication function works. So I'm just going to start with a rectangle and I'm going to draw a fence. So I'm just going to start at the bottom here. Just going to drag that rectangle up, make it as big as you like. And I'm just going to round the top of these corners so it kind of looks more like a fence panel, and we'll do that by grabbing the corner tool on the left hand side, and we just got to grab these nodes on the corners and just pull them in and do that on both sides. So once you've done that, we just select our move tool once again, and there is our first piece done, and this is the only one piece that we need. So what we need to do next is we've got to make a copy of this one. So if we select it and we hit Command or Control C for copy, and then after we've done that, we need to duplicate that. So that will be Command or Control J. So once you've made that duplicated version, if you pay attention to the right hand side layer section, you can see we've got our duplicated version on the top and our original on the bottom. You need to ensure that you are on the duplicated version for this to work. So once you've done that, we're going to come back down to our fence panel. And now we just need to move it into place in order for this to take effect. So here's a quick tip. If you hold down Shift on your keyboard while you drag this, it will keep it perfectly in place. You see we've got that orange line there, which will keep it perfectly aligned with the top and the bottom, so you can't go off course. And all you got to do now is just kind of figure out what kind of space you want in between these panels. So that's looking okay. Just let go once you're ready. And that is the hardest part of this already completed. So basically duplication, the way that works is it's going to take what we've just done here and duplicate those settings. So it's going to take this copy that we got here as well as this spacing that we just made there. And when we paste another copy, it's going to give us a spacing and another one of these panels. So I'll demonstrate that now by just hitting Command J again. And now you can see we've got another one. And if we just keep hitting Command J or Control J all the way across the canvas, you can see we've got all these fence panels. So you can see how quick and easy that was to do that. So if we just quickly select all of these, we just select the top, hold down the Shift button and press the bottom one to select all of these at once. And if we just group this with Command G, then we are free to move this as a whole if you want to. But what we need to do quickly before anything else is just finish off the fence. And we can do that by grabbing another rectangle. And we're just going to draw this one in here. Make a copy of that, Command C and Command V to paste. And just going to move that to wherever you want it. Once you've done that, we can just select both of these and place that behind. And then that is how quick that was to build a fence. And of course, you can come in here at any point and color all these different colors if you wanted to. Do whatever you want to do with that. But if any of you guys have kind of illustrating maybe a kid's farm book, you can generally see how quick this would have been to do this. So if I'm not talking, I can generally show you how quick this can be done. So there you go. You see how generally quick you can put a fence together. So when it comes to illustration work, this is going to be a real time saver. As I think that probably took around maybe 10 to 15 seconds to create that. So we're just going to delete this one now. We'll move on to another part of the tutorial. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about duplication once again, but we're going to add a bit of rotation into this now as well. Okay, so to demonstrate this next bit, we're going to draw a clock. So we're going to grab a circle and just hold down that Shift key to keep that perfectly round. And then we're going to grab a rectangle so we can create an hour. And that'll be fine. I'm just going to turn that stroke off and make that black. And grab that move tool to put this into position. What's important here is that we use this green snap line in the middle to make sure it is centered in the circle. And just put that anywhere you like. Up there will be fine. So what we need to do now is ensure that this is going to rotate all the way around this circle. And to do that, we need to turn on the rotation. And we're just going to go up to the top menu bar up here. And we're going to select this tool right here called Enable Transform Origin. So once you select that, you can see we've got this circle in the middle of the rectangle there. We're going to grab that and drag that out. And we're going to put this into the center of this big circle. So just wait for that snapping point right there and just let go. So once we've done that, it's the exact same process that we've already done. We want to make a copy of this with Command C or Control C. And we are going to duplicate it with Command or Control J. So over in the layers section, you can see once again, we've got our duplicated version there. And now we need to come down to the transform section down at the bottom here. If you're not seeing that, just go up to your view menu, go down to studio and make sure you've got transform checked right there. So once in the transform section, we've got to pay attention to the rotation bit here with the R, and we need to put in some numbers here to get this to work perfectly. So first of all, we've got to start with 360 as it's 360 degrees. And then we've got to divide that by the number of hours. So that'll be 12. So if we hit that / key, which will be divide, and we hit the number 12. And once we hit enter, you can see that's give us that perfect space in there. And all we've got to do now is just hit in Command J repeatedly till we go all the way around the clock. And then that'll give us that perfect space. So you can see how easy that is. And we'll just quickly finish this with the seconds just to demonstrate you can do this with any number. It doesn't matter how many of these you've got. So I'm just going to drag this one over, put that in the center as well, just leave that there. And I'm going to grab this little circle like we did with the other one, bring that to the center again, drop that, make a copy of Command or Control C, Command Control J for duplicate. Once again, back down to the rotation, 360 as it's 360 degrees. Divide that by the number of seconds, which is 60. Hit enter. There's our first one, and just keep hitting Command or Control J all the way around until your clock is finished. And there it is. You can see how easy that really was just to do a quick clock. So on this final part, I'm going to change the background to be black so we can see this effect a little bit better. And I'm just going to lock that so I can't disturb it when I'm drawing over it. And I'm just going to choose any shape that you want to work with. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to go with maybe a triangle. I'm just going to drag that out to any size or shape that you want. And going to give that a color, but we're going to turn off the fill, which is that black one there, and we're going to give it a stroke of whatever it is you want to do. I'm going to go for maybe green. And you can come down here and you can change the width if you want to make that bigger or smaller. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to leave that around 2 points, I think. So what we need to do next is we're going to make a copy of this and duplicate that like we normally do. So Command or Control C and Command or Control J. Once we're on the duplicated version, we're just going to make this triangle a little bit smaller and rotate it a little bit. So if we just drag this in itself a little bit, maybe around there. And we've got this little white bit on top there, which gives us the ability to rotate this. If you just grab that and just line this up wherever you want it to go. I'm trying to aim roughly for the same line as this here, but you can do whatever you want with that. And once you've done that, it's going to now copy what we just did here. So it's going to make it smaller as well as rotate it at the same time. So we Command J again, you'll see what's happened. So it's copied exactly what we just did. And if we just keep hitting Command J, you'll see we're going to get this really good effect, kind of like a spiral. Just like that. And this will work with all different shapes. So what I want to do is I want to select all of this. And I want to come up to the layer section at the top menu bar, and I want to expand the stroke, which is going to turn these strokes into real objects or shapes. So once we've done that, I'm going to then come up to these sections up here with the add divide buttons, and we're going to add all this together. And then that's going to make that one shape all together. And once we've done that, we can actually come in here and grab our fill tool and just give that a little bit of a gradient if you want. Just to make it a little bit more creative, we can change the colors on this. And you can generally see some of the good effects you'll get. And if we want to add some more colors on that, we can. Maybe bring some red in there as well. So that's a pretty good little effect you can do with shapes, with rotating them and stuff. And we can do that with any shape, like I've said. So if we select something different, maybe this polygon, and just draw that out. And maybe add another side on here with this side section on the top. Go for 6 rather than 5. And we're going to turn off this fill and we'll give that a different color stroke. So maybe yellow on this one. Do the same as before. Command and Control C to copy. Command and Control J to duplicate. And it's going to make it smaller like we did last time. and it will start to rotate it around there, and then Command J multiple times to see the effect. Just like that. And then once again, if you want to select all of that, and we're going to expand the stroke with the layer section, expand stroke, and then we can add all this together to create that one shape. And then we'll grab our fill tool, do the same as we did last time, and put a gradient on this, come up and change the colors. And just have a little play around with all your different shapes and see what you can accomplish. But you can see how you can get a few good effects using this kind of technique. And of course, you can always come in and add effects on top of this as well. Like if you wanted to maybe an outer glow or something like that, we could turn on that and make that even bigger. Something like that. Just have a little play around and see what you can do with it. So there is my video on duplicating objects and how it can speed up your workflow and get you a few cool effects. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, as it really helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps other people find my content. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe so you can check out all my future releases as well as all the content I currently have. But for now, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.